Hey, everybody! It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. It is Monday, April 2nd. Wow, time flies. I can't believe it. So, on my screen share is a site called cryptopanic.com. And the reason why I brought this up to share with you is because this is where I get so many of my news stories. And it was built by a developer out of Latvia, and he did a fantastic job. It's free. You can go into his pro version, which he charges $9 a month, and it gives you some different features, and with more features coming soon, according to his list there. But so far, I'm just using his free version, and I'm very happy with it. You can, for example, refine your search here, and it will search far and wide for any story out there on the internet that has that word. So I really love it. And, off to the right, woohoo! Gosh, we've got the percentages of the market, and we are in the green, barely 1.17% for Bitcoin. I'll take it. Any green is good green. So let's see. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitch. Oops, I know. Well, let me explain why I said that. In Japan, Bitcoin Cash is referred to as bitch. And it's not to be rude. It is just the word that Japanese use. And because it looks like bitch when it's a BCH. Yeah, I know Roger knows that because he lives here in Japan, and I'm not trying to start anything because actually I hate the infighting in this community when it comes to people who decide to take an emotional stance on one camp or the other. I think intellectual people should be non-emotional and be able to argue both points, pro and con, on subjects that are so contentious. But that's just my opinion. Litecoin in the green, EOS a little down, Cardano a little down. We've got Stellar Lumens, Neo, and let me just show you. Here's for example, IOTA. And when you pull up the chart, you can see he gets the data from CoinMarketCap. And you've got the 1 day glance, 7 day, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or all. And you can see that it's really a quite handy site. So some of the content providers, I think, like to hide their sources because they want to be the first to break a story. But I believe it is my job to expand everybody's knowledge because the more informed we are in this space, the more we can help develop and grow it. Okay, so hats off to Kaspers. This is the LinkedIn site of the developer of CryptoPanic. And I think he's done a great job, and I just want to thank him. Okay, second up is, did you know that there are some crypto royalty awards that are going to be announced in Davos next year? It's kind of fun. I don't know if it's really fair for voting because you can vote multiple times. You're allowed to vote up to 1 time per day per IP. But anyway, look who's in the lead. Richard Ells, which I think you know who Richard Ells is. If you don't, he is the founder of Electronium, and I really respect him because he's not only been in the space for a long time, but he's made some really simple changes, like removing the decimal point to the second digit in a very divided currency so that people can easily read. So you don't have to necessarily send 0.0002 in your divided currency, but he just has made it easier to read because we are also used to a 2-digit decimal point. Sounds really simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the best for mass adoption, right? All right. And then, of course, Satoshi Nakamoto is, I love it, is in second place with 9.88% of the vote. Look how far ahead Richard is. Wow. Really surprising. And Vitalik is down there in fourth place. But, I'm going to, So I just gave my vote for Satoshi. So if you want to participate in the Crypto Royalty Awards, I'll have that link down below in the comment section. All right. Reddit had something that I kind of grabbed me today, and it was a post that says it's up to us to create global adoption. And if you want your Bitcoin investment to do well, we need real value, real usage, real utility. It is starting, but there is much work to do. And until then, we'll continue to be at the mercy of whales, speculators, and other powers that be. No one is coming to rescue us. We must lead the way. Adoption, adoption, adoption. So I agree. And I just thought, well, then how do we do it on a real grassroots level? I think anybody who's in this space, you're watching this video because I assume you're in this space. You then, I think, have a responsibility to get involved in your community. Here is, let me just take you back here. Here is the meetup calendar for Tokyo. This city is amazing. Look how much is happening here in just this month. Almost every day of the week, there is some cryptocurrency or IT meetup that you can get involved with. Here's the Bitcoin Cash monthly meetup on April 11th. And if you come down here, wow, there's just so much going on. It's mind-boggling. So this is one that caught my eye. This is women-only coding session. All you need to bring is your laptop. And there are 9 developers that have signed up already. And shout out to the women who are coding. Woohoo! So this is something that I have absolutely committed to do more of, and I want to keep learning. And I don't know if I can join them on Saturday, April 21st. I'm not sure, but this is my point, is that for the mass adoption to happen, we are all responsible to get involved. So find out what's happening in your city, and if there isn't anything, start something, right? Okay. On Saturday, article came out on CoinDesk that says IBM finally getting serious about cryptocurrency. Well, they announced a few months ago that they were kind of experimenting with stellar lumens. And I got to thinking, gosh, I'm really happy to see that IBM is evolving and changing and able to reinvent itself, because everybody knows the Kodak story. They didn't think that film was going to be replaced so quick by digital. And actually, it's not so much the film for Kodak. The lion's share of their income was coming from paper, because the photographers were all in the labs in those days, and they were the go-to source for photographic paper. There are 3 IT companies that are the oldest in the world. IBM is one. Okay, this is a trivia question. What do you think is number 2? If you look at my tabs, you might be able to get the answer. The second one is Fujitsu. Fujitsu is a really highly respected company in Japan. They employ about 155,000 people, and they're located in 100 countries, and they are working really hard at developing a blockchain innovation center in Brussels. This is a great article. This is from their press release, which occurred on the 21st. I'll put that in the comment section as well. So, and then number 3, who would that be? Can you guess? Hewlett Packard. Yeah, so when I was a little girl, this is a true story. I used to ride my horse through the orchards, the apricot orchards of Mr. and Mrs. Packard. And I just remember them as such nice people. They wouldn't shoo you off of their land. They had no fence. It was just, rolling hills of apricot orchards. And yeah, in those days when I was a little girl, I had no idea really the importance of this man. And to me, he was just, Mr. Packard. And when I grew up, of course, now I'm fully aware of oh my gosh, who was my neighbor. But in those days, life was simple, and I was just more impressed with my horse, Daisy, who was able to eat an apricot and spit the pit out. So I just was bragging about that in those days. So anyway, enough memory lane. So let's go to this is a ugly, salty story. So the Inspector General reveals that the Department of Defense can't verify where $3.1 billion was spent in Afghanistan. This is ridiculous. This is why we need mass adoption of the ledger, so that we have transparency in the spending of tax-paying dollars. This is ridiculous. This one is just horrible. The country of Georgia, if you remember, I did a story back about a month ago, has adopted the blockchain to be more transparent in all the government transactions. So I think that we could definitely learn from that example. And the last thing I want to point out is that Japan is going to host, the G20 summit next year, and they have recently picked Osaka to be the location. Osaka is southwest of Tokyo by about 2 hours by bullet train. And I think since Japan is hosting the event, we will probably have a voice, and no doubt cryptocurrency will be high on the agenda. Okay, that's all I have for you today. So please take care and have a great end of the weekend, because we're ahead of you here in Japan, and I hope to see you tomorrow. All right, sayonara.